Hey friends, welcome to the Fix Your Plantar Fasciitis course. Of all of the conditions I commonly see, plantar fasciitis is hands down the easiest one to fix on your own over having a wellness practitioner or a doctor intervene. What is plantar fasciitis? Plantar means the sole of the foot. Fasciitis means inflammation of the fascia, which is basically the connective tissue of your feet. So basically, you have tight feet. One of the common indicators that you have plantar fasciitis is upon waking in the morning, if as your heel strikes the ground, it hurts, or after long periods of sitting. However, everything that we're going to do in this course also will help aid tight feet. Most common reasons why I see why this happens is this superficial back line that you can see. This is Tom Myers. He wrote a book called Anatomy Trains that this comes from. So the superficial back line goes up either side of the leg, all the way from the sole of the foot, up either side of the spine, and then actually inserts into the forehead. What this means is that if you have plantar fasciitis, it can be coming from a bunch of different areas. It can come from weak and tight ankles, which is the most common thing that I see. It can also come from spinal tension. That can be from sitting for long periods or just even standing, just having a static position of your spine or inflexibility of your spine. And it could even come from head tension. So if you're somebody who also is prone to chronic headaches or head tension, it could totally be related to your tight feet. Another thing that I see is that, especially, and I see this a lot with COVID, is that people are trying so hard to affix a good posture that they kind of pinch their shoulder blades together. And what that does is it tightens the mid-back in a way that the spine isn't supposed to go. So it tightens all of this fascia. Your attempt to actually have good posture is making your feet tight. Another thing that causes this is that we walk on flat surfaces all day. I always say it's not like we're living in San Francisco, or it's not like we're hiking and walking on uneven surfaces. The action of the ankle is to push your foot on the gas. So if it's only pushing the foot on the gas in this very small range of motion every day for years and years and years, that joint is going to get tight. And then you combine that with our certain shoe choices, like if you're wearing high heels, you're fixing that aperture. Boots is the same thing. You're fixing it at a 90-degree angle. Even flip-flops, which here in Central Texas everybody loves, but the way in which it causes you to have to kind of grip to keep the shoe on, all can be a factor in this plantar fasciitis bit. So if you're somebody who wears shoes like that, I often encourage my clients to ditch those shoes for about a week or two and see if the symptoms get better, particularly when you're trying to do this tandem work. Occasionally, it is also because of this contralateral, where, this is Joseph Schwartz, by the way, where the plantar fasciitis is actually also coming from shoulder issues on the opposite side. Not as common as this guy, but definitely can play in, so that will come into the structure of the course. Another reason for plantar fasciitis that comes in from more of the psychological or emotional bit, this is always an approach that I try to bring into my practice and my work with clients, is a lack of grounding. So if you're someone who has had a history of trauma or a prolonged history of stress, read All of Us in 2020 to 2021, that can also cause the feet to tight. And kind of how I just mentioned about the posture, actually holding your breath or shortness of breath, because the breath is a diaphragm and actually the archway of the foot is another diaphragm. It kind of does this every single time we take a step, or it should. That holding our breath will actually create tension in your feet. So you can kind of play with that now. If you take an inhale and hold your breath, can you feel your feet tighten? If your feet are actually that tight, which is probably why you're watching this video, you may not feel that subtlety, but it's something to pay attention to going forward. How the structure of this course is going to go, I always work distal to proximal when I'm working with clients, meaning if our goal is the feet, we're actually going to start with the head. We're going to do a series of, every episode will be a series of loosening, stretching, and then looking at proper neurological engagement of how those areas should be working. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share and subscribe for our next episodes. Thank you.